Almost a year ago in Utah, a police officer was exonerated for shooting and killing a man who he said was attacking him with a shovel. And they called it a justified homicide. But a new video has just been released, and it shows an entirely different story. In the video you're about to see, it shows the cop, apparently, on the man's back. The man has his hands behind his back, and the cop puts 2 rounds into his back and then walks away. So there, you see the video. If you listen carefully, very early on in the video, you can hear what sound like 2 shots being fired, and then the police officer gets up, walks a few feet to the side, and waits for his backup to arrive. Now, that was apparently a neighbor's cell phone video that had been taken at the time. I don't know why it took almost a year for it to come out. Apparently, the district attorney Sim Gill is saying he's looking into why his office didn't see the video during the original police investigation of the shooting. Now, it might be on their office. It might be that the police maybe didn't want them to see this for some reason. I don't know. Not very high resolution, okay? They don't like that. They're video files. And so what you see there is apparently a police officer executing a man. Now, that is James Dudley Barker, a 42-year-old. Now, what actually happened is now becoming more clear. What the cop said happened back in the day that got him exonerated in February of last year. He said he approached the man. The man said that he was shoveling with a snow shovel a sidewalk to make some extra money. Police officer said that he was talking with the man. The man got agitated and eventually swung his shovel at the cop. Now, that does appear to be true because at the time, his body camera, which he was wearing, showed these 2 photos. And what you're seeing in these photos is an apparently enraged James Dudley Barker, who does look like he in fact swings at the police officer. Apparently, the swing knocked the police officer's body camera off, he is saying. And you do apparently see him attacking the police officer there, so that seems to be true. But then the body camera stops filming, for some reason, suspiciously. Now, he says that the man reached for his gun, and that's why he had to shoot him. Now, I don't know why they didn't apparently see that the guy was shot in the back, and how a man who was reaching for the cop's gun was doing so while his back was turned to him. But this is just another fucking case of where even when you get the body camera on the cops, they can tell an entirely different story than what is abundantly clear there. This is just a new version of what has been happening for a number of years when they have the dash-mounted cameras. Those dash-mounted cameras are great for recording what goes on, but damn, they just seem to cut out all the time at the most suspicious moments. All of a sudden, the video's not there anymore. And now it's happening with the body cameras as well. Now, it is possible, somehow, I don't see how, but I'm not going to rule out the possibility that that video has been manipulated. And I have no idea how that would actually happen. But that's what they're going to say has happened, because that video appears to just blow a gigantic hole in the case that the police made. And this man was let off. And so now they're going to reopen the case, thank God, after a year of this man knowing what actually happened and walking free, possibly being the beneficiary, in this case, of a cover-up from his department who didn't want this video to be released. We don't know for sure. Hopefully, when they investigate this, we'll get something at least approximating the truth rather than the complete farce we got in February of last year. Now, that man should not have swung a shovel at a police officer. Obviously, that's wrong. But whether he was shot immediately then, or he was restrained on the ground and then executed by the cop, who then callously just walks away. Oh man, he reached for my gun. I shouldn't have reached for my gun. It seems much more likely that what happened here is what happens in so many cases. The police officer does not like being disrespected, and if you use any amount of force, no matter how light, even if it's something as silly as a snow shovel, oh, they're gonna make you pay for it. And it looks like in this case, he paid with his life. So thankfully they are reinvestigating this, but regardless of if this video, which thank God the neighbor was actually taking, does result in some sort of conviction for the police officer, which in America is certainly not guaranteed, that 42-year-old man, unfortunately, will still be dead. and that's America.